Our next presentation will be from Atlanta Dental Supply and Tom Richardson.
Good morning, everybody. It's great to see you all here this morning. Atlanta Dental is introducing something new at the Hinman this year called Practice Life. Practice Life is a network of products and services to help manage, grow, and protect your practice. If you come down to the booth, you're going to see a tagline that says inspired by Atlanta Dental. But frankly, it was inspired by those of you in the room working with our reps and letting us know what you need as a private practice and how we can help you grow your practice. And I'm going to share just a few of the partners that are with us today. Allegedly. There we go. You see preferred fee schedule is the first icon that you see up there. In our booth today, we have Dental Advocacy Group. Dental Advocacy Group has spent a lot of time putting together a preferred fee schedule that pays up to 30% higher than most of the other plans that are on the market. Sometimes I'll get a call from a doctor that says, I think I have found an associate that I want to bring into my practice, but I don't really have enough patients to keep them busy. I don't really want to give them all of mine because I'm planning on working for a few more years, but I do want to make sure they have enough to keep them enthused and growing while they're in my practice. Dental Advocacy Group can do that because if you don't necessarily take plans, or very many, you're able to put a plan in place that will bring patients quickly into your practice, and it'll keep that associate busy. Paying about 30% more is always good. And if it's something that you want to discontinue after that associate is up and running, you're able to do that. So please come by and say hello to Dental Advocacy Group. Business leadership. Some of you have been working with Tower Leadership, a great company that helps improve the processes in your practice. They do a lot of team training. They also really help you with some financial advice. Most of the financial advice available to doctors today is encouraging them to invest in something that whoever it is that made that recommendation gets a commission. And really what practice leadership does through Tower, they explain to you that the best investment you have is your practice. And they show you how to leverage your money and grow your wealth and protect your practice. And they'll help you just in about every area of the business end of your practice. Lease negotiations. We've really helped some doctors lately by looking at their leases. If you don't own your building and you're leasing a space right now, do you know when your lease is ending? It's an important date for you to know because sometimes we'll get a call from a doctor that says, I just realized that my lease is up in about 60 days. I like where I am. I'm going to go ahead and stay. So I guess I just need to call my landlord and tell them that I want to extend my lease. And the problem is when you do that is that you've lost any negotiation power you might have at all. You really need to think about a year and a half ahead before your lease expires. That way all your options are still open to you. If you wait until the last minute, you have no other option. You can call your landlord and say, hey, I'm going to stay here. I'd like to sign another lease. But if you don't have enough time to negotiate, the landlord says, that's great. We're going to keep it like we've had it. Your rent will only go up 3 to 5% each year for the next 5 years or however long that lease is. We recently worked with 2 doctors that were wondering, did they want to relocate? Did they want to build a building, or did they want to stay where they are? And we helped them through 2 companies that we work with renegotiate the lease where they are, and they didn't have to relocate. But one saved $60,000, the other saved $65,000 because we connected them to one of our Practice Life partners that negotiated on their behalf. So if you're in that situation, and even if you're not, know when your lease ends. And if you come by, we can introduce you to a couple of companies that can help you renegotiate even if you don't move. Practice support. That's really a broad stroke there, but we have several companies in our booth today. Weave is a company that is really making a lot of headway. They have a phone system and a practice communication system, patient communication system that is very, very strong. One of the features they have is that their system connects with your practice management software so that when a phone call comes in, on the screen, you see who it is that's calling. And this is not just caller ID, it's much more than that. If you have a picture in your file, you see the patient's picture, you see their family, you know how many appointments are scheduled from that family. You also see what treatment they have in their plan that hasn't been scheduled yet, and you also see what their balance is on their account. So you see all that immediately when the phone rings, so you know who is calling, and it gives you really a lot of head start on knowing how you can assist that patient. Practice transitions. I won't spend a lot of time on this. Some of you may be starting to think you might want to retire in 5 years or 10 years, and depending on how you plan that can make a big difference on the rest of your career. We have had some doctors that decided they might want to sell their practice, and I would say that there's a lot of good practice transition companies, but most transition companies are wanting you to sell your practice. I think it's good to get some good feedback, particularly from a company that might encourage you not to sell just yet. There's a lot of offers that are being made to private practice offices that may not be in the best interest of you and your patients and your team. So we would like to offer some help there on at least exploring what all the options are to you, and maybe your best decision is not to sell at this time. Practice management software. We have Open Dental in our booth with us. We have partnered with them for probably about 7 years. Open Dental is a unique company actually developed by a dentist, Dr. Jordan Sparks, and he said, I'm tired of being manipulated by the larger companies and the software companies that are maybe more interested in controlling my practice instead of helping me manage it. So he decided that he was going to start a software company that would help dentists across the country, and that's what he did. It's an amazing product, and it's as strong as anything else that may be out there, and maybe what's unique about it is it's free. And when you hear that it's free software, you might think, well, it's probably not as good. But if you're thinking about changing software, this is a company you really ought to look at. It's a very powerful software. Their monthly support is also just kind of amazing. It's $159 a month for the first year, and then it drops to $99 a month. If you have more than one location, you can tie those together, and it's a very strong software. We actually have another software at Atlanta Dental that we have sold, but we have been promoting Open Dental because it's free and we think it's a better software. And we would not encourage you to change your software if you're not already thinking about it. That's a big undertaking and not something you want to do quickly. But if you are considering, Open Dental doesn't go to very many meetings across the country, but they are with us today. So if you get an opportunity to come by, we'd love your visit. Dental accounting and tax services. We also have a couple of companies that are available through Practice Life, and you could meet one of them today. And we're going to continue to roll out products that we think are going to help the private practice. We have some HR services we'll be introducing soon. And most people know Atlanta Dental as a full-service distributor, which we are. We're reaching a new milestone, kind of a unique thing. We just started our 150th year in business. So in closing, I'd like to say thank you to all of you to make that possible. But we're really not looking back at 150 years and what we've done. Really what we want to do is continue to support you at the highest level possible. So we're looking ahead and not backwards. But if you get a chance, come by. We have some things we'd like to give you. And thank you so much for your support.